Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. One of the biggest sports betting stories out there is Ohio. Seems like everyone's waiting for sports betting to start in the Buckeye State. The official launch date is January 1st, but that doesn't mean nothing is going on. Sports betting applications are being submitted and deals are being made. Even the Cincinnati Bengals made a deal with a sportsbook. And we are going to talk all about Ohio sports betting with Don Emmons from ohbets.com and Better Collective. Donald's going to give us all the information about the sleeping sports giant named Ohio and what we can expect when sports betting starts on New Year's Day. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
You, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Where was the house? Where was the House of Cards?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. One of the big stories in the sports betting industry is what is going on in Ohio. They are set to launch their sports betting industry on January 1st, and I think it's going to be a huge market. And as always, when we want to find out the latest in the gambling world and sports betting world, we turn to our friends from Better Collective. And right now, we have an incredibly talented writer who writes for ohbets.com, which covers the Ohio sports betting scene. For his first time on the show, we have Don Emmons on the line. Don, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Oh, welcome to the show, and it was great meeting you at SBC Summit North America in the Meadowlands a couple of weeks ago. And like I said, this is your first time on the show, and we always love having writers from Better Collective come on and giving us the big gambling news of the day. But before we start, tell the audience a little something about yourself. How did you start writing for Better Collective and ohbets.com? I know you wrote for, I think, about all the other leagues in the world.
Well, I was approached by a former colleague of mine at one of the newspapers I've worked for in the Toledo Blade. Mm-hmm. And when Ohio passed the sports betting bill, Better Collective was looking for someone that was familiar with the state, mm-hmm. familiar with the scene. And I've lived in Toledo, Ohio for approximately 20 years. They reached out, and that's the next thing was, I was working for Better Collective, writing for Ohio Bets.
I got to ask you about Ohio. I'm really excited about this market opening up. I mean, it has a reported start date of January 1st. And right now, as we speak, what stage is Ohio in with regard to sports betting? I mean, are they formulating rules? Are they accepting applications? Are they handing out licenses right now? At what point is Ohio at with regard to sports betting?
Okay, they've already basically formed all the rules. All of the rules have not been approved yet.
Okay.
Right now they are accepting applications for sports betting licenses, and they're reviewing these applications and these applicants. And so that's kind of where we're at this point. But they're picking up steam. As you know, half the year is over.
Yeah.
So, New Year's Day will be here before you know it.
I think everyone's incredibly curious about what sports betting in Ohio will look like. What can we expect? I mean, it's both retail and online, but how many sports books can we expect in Ohio?
Roughly about 25.
Wow.
That's what we're looking at. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be busy. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, I mean, we're in the Midwest, but it's going to look like the Wild, Wild West.
Well, let me ask you about the retail sports books first. I mean, in my home state of New Jersey, you either have to go to North Jersey or travel down to South Jersey to Atlantic City to go to a retail book. I know in Connecticut, they just recently launched sports betting, and they specifically said that people in their state will live no further than 30 minutes from a retail sports book. So that was a priority for Connecticut. What can we look forward to in Ohio? Will the retail sports books be spread out all over the state, or is it going to be in one area of the state? Will it be relatively convenient for people of Ohio to get to a retail sports book?
Oh, the retail sports books are going to be all over the state. I mean, Pretty much north, south, east, west. Now some areas will have multiple sports books just because of the population, and that's how it's designed. But yeah, I mean, you'll be able to get to a sports book anywhere inside the state of Ohio.
Well, let me ask you about the online sports books right now. What can we expect to see? Now, everyone sees the FanDuel and the DraftKings, and I know you wrote an article about Rush Street submitting an application in the state. Who should people expect to see? What operators do you expect to see online in Ohio when this launches?
Well, again, let's see. Thinking off the top of my head, obviously FanDuel, DraftKings, PointsBet, Rush Street Interactive, pretty much all of the major players.
The usual suspects, huh?
Exactly.
I'm always interested when a state launches sports betting where people will be allowed to bet. I mean, some states allow betting in stadiums and bars and restaurants. Can we expect to see something like that in Ohio, and what will that look like? One of the things off the top of my head, right next door to us is Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and they have a restaurant called Chickies and Pete's. And when they said, yeah, we're going to allow sports betting, I thought they were just going to have kiosks, but they actually have people sitting in windows taking bets, which blew my mind. Will Ohio look like something like that? And where can people expect to place bets, like in stadiums or restaurants or bars?
Okay, so it won't look exactly like that. I mean, you won't have sports books in bars and restaurants. You'll have kiosks. But as far as in stadiums, yeah, all of the professional sports teams, it looks as if they're all going to have some kind of sports book inside the stadium. Mm-hmm. You'll have it obviously at the casinos.
Sure.
But then you're going to have kiosks at all sports bars, and I think there's been over 1,000 applicants for kiosks as far as restaurants go and sports bars. So there won't be a place if you're looking to make a bet in Ohio, you won't have to look far.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Your Majesty, the royal wrestlers await.
I'll bet on the little guy. How much? 3,000 guineas, 2 geese, and a duck. That's a foul bet.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Don Emmons from OHBets.com and Better Collective. It sounds amazing. It sounds great. And anytime a state starts sports betting, I always love to ask the one question. Can we expect to see either sports books or sports betting businesses that are unique to Ohio? I know you recently wrote about a business called Right Bet, which is based out of Dayton. Can we expect to see more Ohio sports betting businesses that are based specifically in the state of Ohio?
That I'm not sure, but based upon the proprietors for Right Bet, I mean, if there are more people that forward thinking like him, then I would say yes. But, I mean, he seemed to come right out, and once it was passed, him and his group of business buddies decided, how can we get into this? So it's still too early to tell.
Every state in the U.S. has different rules and regulations that could vary drastically from state to state, and one example is collegiate sports. I mean, I'll use the example of my state. In New Jersey, we're not allowed to bet on colleges or universities located within our state, and we're not allowed to bet on any collegiate activity located in our state. How about Ohio? I mean, look, you have the Ohio State. Cincinnati is an amazing football team as well. Will people in Ohio be allowed to bet on collegiate sports when sports betting launches?
The way the legislation was written up, yes. Now, we're still waiting to see if that particular law will stand, because there was some pushback, particularly from the Ohio State University.
Oh, really? Okay.
Leading the way in terms of other colleges in the state, saying, hey, limit this college betting to only football and basketball and leave all the other sports out in terms of betting on sports. But at the same time, there's no pushback against betting on the Ohio State University. So if there's the rules written where anything goes. However, there has been some pushback about, like, let's put a limit on it. So I don't know yet, because those things have not been finalized. It hasn't been approved.
Well, let me ask you about a pro team that's in your state. The Cincinnati Bengals partnered with Betfred and applied for a Type A sports betting license in the state. What can people expect from that deal? And do you know of any other sports teams that have made a deal or are working on a deal with a sportsbook operator at this time?
Yes, and I'm actually in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So and it's early for me, and so yes, other sports franchises have made deals, and for me to just again, I'd have to look back on them, but yeah. The Browns have a deal.
Oh, really? Okay.
The Cavaliers have a deal. The Cincinnati Bengals have a deal, and even the soccer franchises, they have deals with sportsbooks. So no, like I said, once this happens, it's going to be a madhouse. If you love sports betting, if you love the whole involvement with it, Ohio is, the way it's written now. I mean, again, like I said, things can change. The way it's written now, it's like, wow, that's the place to go place the bet. Go in the state of the Buckeye State.
Now, I got to ask you one thing about Ohio. I heard, and I was shocked, and I'm glad you're coming on to that I can ask about this. One thing that raised eyebrows of a lot of people in the sports betting industry is it true that a high school applied for a sports betting license? I mean, what can you tell us about that? And if they did apply for a sports betting license, what's the general feeling like in Ohio about that?
Okay, I just wrote a story in Ohio for Ohio Bet on that particular school called Spire Institute.
Wow.
It's kind of it's a prep school like IMG Academy, and it's east of Cleveland, about 50 miles, And yes, they applied for sports betting licenses, which is sounds outrageous.
Wow, yeah.
But the way anyone pretty much can apply.
I guess so.
They fit the bill that they could apply. Now, just because you apply, that's the other thing that the commission makes note. Just because you apply, just because you put the money up for this, that doesn't mean you're going to get approved. But they did truly apply for a sports betting license. And how does that even sound for a high school to, even get involved in the whole sports betting business? To me, it sounds pretty outrageous.
Yeah,
but that's what they did.
What is their general plan? I mean, if by some reason their application is allowed, did they give any indication of what their plans are moving forward with sports betting?
They're not talking.
Okay.
They're not talking. I reached out to several officials at the school,
okay,
and they're not talking about it. But if you put up approximately $170,000 in application fees, non-refundable, then that to me right there says you're serious about this. Otherwise, you're just you've got so much money to throw away. Then hey, you can solve a lot of problems.
Wow. Well, let me ask you about some other deals. I know me living here in New Jersey, I get New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania television stations, and I know all the sportsbook have made a ton of deals with media outlets. Has that started in Ohio? Are there any deals right now between sportsbook operators and media outlets in the state, or do you think that's going to come further down the line?
I'm guessing that's going to come down the line because I have not heard of any kind of relationships, partnerships in that regard. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you about the start date. Is that a firm date? I always hear things about in the legislation, they're required to carry out surveys before anything launches, and I think Ohio still has a survey to carry out. But is January 1st a firm date, or will anything push that back, like surveys that they have to do or anything else they have to do with regard to the law?
No, I don't see any issues in terms of being pushed back. Basically they've had a whole year to get this right. Mm-hmm. So all indications are they intend on having both mobile and retail up and ready New Year's Day at the drop of the big ball in Times Square. At that point, you're going to be able to go on your phone or any of your mobile devices and go in there and place a bet. You should be able to, as far as casinos, anybody with the sports book that will be open at that point, you should be able to go in there and place a bet for January 1.
Let me ask you about January 1. What do you think that launch will look like? On midnight, on New Year's Eve, when the clock strikes 12, do you think that everything's going to launch? Is something's going to launch? Or things going to launch later on the day? Or will they launch later in the week? Is it just going to explode in sports betting in Ohio on January 1st at midnight?
Brother, I'm already tired just trying to think about what I got to do to cover that particular day.
What really, a big day, huh?
The lead-in. I'm sorry?
It's going to be a big day for you. You're going to be constantly working.
Yeah, it's going to be around the clock. Even before New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, the days before, it's going to be like so much unlike my normal holiday season. It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, it's, I think the fortunate thing is, for me at least, New Year's Day is on a Sunday, so you're kind of limited to just the NFL in terms of as far as what you'll be able to bet on a heavy day. I think there may be some NBA going on, but really it's going to be all about the NFL.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of August 15th, 2022. New York State may be losing over $400 million a year by not allowing online casinos. According to a report released by Vixio Gaming Compliance, the Empire State could be receiving over $428 million in tax revenue if it legalized iGaming casino-style games. The report was commissioned by Light & Wonder, a Las Vegas-based gaming company whose head of government affairs is Howard Glazer, a former aide to ex-Governor Andrew Cuomo. The 2022 World Series of Poker ended with some impressive numbers. The live and online bracelet events drew over 197,000 entries and had a record-breaking prize pool of over $347.9 million. This year's main event attracted over 8,600 entries, which is the second largest main event in its history. This was the first year the WSOP took place on the Strip at Paris, Las Vegas, and Bally's, Las Vegas. And finally, the first casino in Virginia had a very impressive first week. The temporary Bristol Casino, which opened on July 8th, took $37.5 million in wagers through July 14th. 90% of the revenue taken in by the casino came from the 900 slot machines on the property. This is only a temporary site and will make way for the $400 million Hard Rock Resort set to open in 2024. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. No. 5-1. No. 10-1. You're on.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Don Emmons from OHBets.com and Better Collective. That, and I was thinking Ohio State has to be in a bowl somewhere. So I wonder if it's going to be on January 1st. I mean, you're going to break all records if that happens.
Well, you know, the thing with the NCAA, they don't play bowl games on Sundays. So,
okay.
So
I didn't even know it was a Sunday. Wow.
It's a Sunday. Yeah, New Year's Day is going to be a Sunday.
Okay.
So there will be games played the day before, but you won't be able to bet on them. Now, the commission talked yesterday at the monthly meetings how, okay, if there is a game that was played on December 31st and it ran past midnight, that maybe you'll be able to place a live bet on that particular game. So if the Buckeyes are playing December 31st and they're playing on the West Coast or something and it's a late game, maybe you'll still have a chance to bet on the Buckeyes with your first official Ohio sports bet.
You know, I was telling people, I'm talking to Don Emmons from OhioBets.com, and everyone asked me to ask you this question. Will Ohio have the same registration rules as Nevada or like in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, where if you register for an online account in Ohio, do you have to finish your registration at a live casino or a live sports book like they do in Nevada where you're sitting right now? Or once you register online in Ohio for a sports book, you're ready to bet?
That's the way it's written up. Once you register, you're ready to bet. It's no, you have to check into a sports book. No, you'll be able to bet as soon as you register in. So that's, again, they're making it really accessible to be involved in the sports betting business.
Is there one retail or one online sports book that everyone thinks will dominate Ohio? I mean, is there one really in front of the news and everyone thinks that they will be the forerunner in Ohio? Or is it anyone's game right now?
Again, I don't hear as far as one particular sports book being the dominant one, but obviously you have to look at FanDuel and DraftKings being right there, being major players right from the start.
Are you starting to see the advertising yet in Ohio? Or
not yet. Not
yet.
We have not seen it because I live on the border of Michigan. I'm familiar with all the advertising because of Detroit, and so I see a lot of advertising. But as far as focused on Ohio, that hasn't happened yet.
Well, everyone's gearing up, and you're at ground zero when it comes to Ohio sports betting. What do you think we can expect from Ohio sports betting? I mean, I think it's going to be huge. I mean, they got great pro and college football fans, great basketball fans, you're huge baseball fans, and I know the Columbus Blue Jackets just signed the best player in the NHL. It seems like it has the makings of an incredible sports market. I even said I think it might even be a top 5 sports betting market. What do you think we can expect from Ohio when they launch their sports betting industry?
Again, the projections are it's going to be a top 5 market.
I think so.
It's hard for me to believe anything but that based upon Ohio has not been in play as far as sports betting, but all of the neighboring states have been doing it already. So a lot of Ohioans have been making bets. They've just been crossing the border. Now, when it's happening inside, I think those people are basically going to stay home. And so, I think it's going to blow up. Again, we're talking about a sports crazy state.
Yeah.
From high schools to pros. I mean, high schools to pros, even you have a high school trying to get in this business. So, it's going to be crazy.
You know, what shocked me was the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, right across the street. They applied for a sports betting license. Did anyone say anything about that, or because look, living in New Jersey, I lived through that court case where the NFL says, the worst thing you could do ever in life is place a bet on sports, and now there's a possible sports betting license across the street from the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. What has been the attitude toward that?
Hey, all gloves have been taken off in terms of that. I mean, it's really from a professional sports standpoint. That's over with. So, I mean, again, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I mean, when I first moved to Ohio, it was basically one small building and a high school stadium. That thing has grown, and now it's turned into a complex. So, it only makes sense. They're going to have a sports book right there. I believe Rush Street Interactive is their partner. And it's nothing surprising. The only surprising thing is there's one race course that has not applied for a sports betting license, and it is eligible. That's the only kind of weird thing that hasn't happened, or that has happened where they have not, gotten into the game.
What is there a reason why they didn't apply for a sports betting license?
They have not said, and they're not talking about it. And maybe they're just looking at it, that's going to be in the wintertime when it opens up. No one's going to be at the race course.
Yeah, I guess not.
So what's the rush? That's my theory.
So I got to ask you, it's January 1st. Sports betting is launched in Ohio. Have you planned out your first bet yet in Ohio? And what will it be, do you think?
I have not planned it. I have no idea. But because it'll be like 15 NFL games, I'm sure it'll be on the NFL. So I haven't even thought that far ahead.
So, Don, we're running out of time, but can you give us a website where people can read your articles and give out your social media address so people can keep up with what you're doing?
Okay, my the website I write for is Ohio Bet. That's OHBETS.com. I also write for SportsHandle, and you can reach out to me if you go on to Ohio Bets. You can reach out to me at the end of the articles that I write. My email address is on there, which is Emmons@BetterCollective.com.
Donald Emmons from OhioBets.com and Better Collective. Thanks so much for coming on and giving us an update about what's going on in Ohio. It's going to be a very interesting gaming and sports betting market. So please come back on and keep us updated about what's going on in Ohio. Thanks so much for your time.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. Good talking to you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Having a rough morning after a long night out? That's why there's Morning Recovery. Morning Recovery is the flagship product of More Labs, and it's scientifically engineered to outsmart rough mornings. Use promo code radio15 at morelabs.com and get 15% off of your first purchase of Morning Recovery or any of their other great products. That's radio15 at morelabs.com to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off of your first purchase. Morning Recovery from More Labs, so you can work hard, play hard, and live life without compromise.
It's a casino. People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beating the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to the Beating the House segment of our show. I'm Doug Weishuttle. I'm with my co-host Dave Weishuttle here, talking about the different slot jackpots, casino jackpots, Keno, bingo, Pie Gal, poker, bad beat jackpots here in this segment. We're going to crisscross the country. Please keep those press releases coming in. And this week, we're going to start off in Las Vegas.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're going all aboard on the Sunset Station for a $1 million jackpot.
Wow, $1 million, huh?
We have a lucky boarding pass member. I love that phrase, boarding pass.
Yeah.
Over at the Sunset Station in Las Vegas. They were playing in the casino around 9:30 p.m. on a Friday night, and they hit a $1.2 million jackpot playing Wheel of Fortune.
Wow. I always say Wheel of Fortune. That's
Yes.
just like a money machine.
Well, you know, when you're talking brick and mortar casinos, it's going to be something like a Wheel of Fortune or one of the Buffalo games from Aristocrat, or even the Dancing Drums Explosions.
Yep.
Now we're starting to see a lot of the exact amount, $1.262 million on a $7 bet, and this $1.2 million jackpot hit just on their third spin of the machine.
Well, you got your wish. You found out.
I got everything in this one.
You got everything that you want in a jackpot story. You even got the amount of the bet.
Got the bet, got how many spins, got the time of day, and we got the game, and we got the amount.
It's a complete story.
Yes.
There you go.
The actual exact amount was $1,262,000, $132.28, and it was the Wheel of Fortune Progressive.
Wow, good.
Staying at Sunset Station, we have another story coming out of there. We have a 7-card straight flush playing Pie Gal poker.
Pie Gal.
7-card straight flush won a jackpot of $210,097. It was a progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner, who chose to remain anonymous, put a $1 progressive bonus bet.
Wow.
It was the side bet for Pie Gal poker. That's the key to Pie Gal.
It's about the side bet. Always about the side bet.
Always side bets. So we have 2 winners at Sunset Station this week.
Wow.
Staying in Vegas, we're going to go over to the Cromwell. We have another table game winner. A visitor from Mexico. He's heading back to his country with a few extra coins in his pocket. He hit a massive jackpot. That's the press release's wordings. Playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
The guest, identified as Alan D., hit the jackpot of $878,682 playing on a Thursday morning at the Cromwell.
Wow.
Alan had only played the game for 2 hands before hitting this jackpot. So first we have 3 spins. Now we have just 2 hands before we start seeing some huge jackpots being paid out, which is pretty cool to see.
I'm not too familiar with the Cromwell, so
it's one of the smaller ones. It's been around for a long time. It's a popular place.
We've mentioned them.
We've had them on several times.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Cromwell. Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
casino. People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beating the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Why don't you continue what you were saying before the break?
Staying in Vegas, we've got another Vegas jackpot to hit. We're over at the Orleans. Las Vegas local this time. He hit Boyd Gaming's regional linked Pai Gow Poker Progressive Jackpot.
Another Pai Gow Poker.
Another Pai Gow. $338,703.99. That 99 cents makes all the difference in the world. He was playing. It was also this is another guest who requested to remain anonymous, which you can do in Nevada. Mm-hmm. He was playing face-up Pai Gow Poker with his wife late Friday afternoon when he hit a 7-card straight flush.
Wow. Okay.
Deuce to 8 of spades with a joker, capturing the Pai Gow Progressive Jackpot of $338,000 and some change. He also placed a Dragon bonus side bet that won him an additional $5,000. Like I said, it's always the side bets. Pai Gow Poker, I got to start really paying attention to seeing all the different side bets there are.
When you're learning
variations.
When you're learning Pai Gow Poker, that's what you kind of have to master. You have to get used to the side bets, what to do, what kind of side bets you think would be more profitable, and see that's the trick of Pai Gow Poker.
I think Pai Gow, it's a 2-level game.
Yeah.
You know, you have the main game with the Pai Gow Poker, then you got the side bets, which put into a whole new other stratosphere, especially with some of the money you can win on the side bets. Mm-hmm. Leaving Las Vegas. Wasn't that the name of a movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Great movie.
Well,
Academy Award-winning movie, isn't it?
We are leaving Las Vegas. We are going back to Lewiston, Idaho. We did a story on these guys last week, the Clearwater River Casino and Lodge.
Okay, I remember it just because there's the word lodge in their name. I always remember a casino named Lodge. I always picture a cabin and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I can see a log cabin with slot machines.
A lodge.
But
a big fireplace.
I think this is a little bigger than the log cabins we're thinking of.
Okay.
But we have... Now, just to refresh everybody's memory, we just had the $1.5 million slot jackpot last week on the show. That was their largest in the casino history. This one's not as big, but it's still a good jackpot. We have I think it's a local. I've seen different stories on this after I got the press release from the casino. I was looking at different stories covering this.
Okay.
It's a local who won $191,163.89 playing Aristocrat's Dollar Storm Emperor's Treasure video gaming machine. It's another VGM. It's a slot machine. So it's just another classification.
You keep bringing up Dollar Storm. How many versions of Dollar Storm are there?
There are 3.
There are 3.
There are 3.
Seems like there's more. You always, when you mention Dollar Storm, you always give a different name.
You may be getting confused because Aristocrat has a Dollar Storm brand of machines, just like they have the Buffalo brand machines.
Yeah.
They have Dollar Storm. They've got 3 different types underneath that Dollar Storm. There are other dollar whatever
named things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So maybe you're hearing dollar.
Yeah, I'm hearing dollar, and
But wager of $2.
Oh, okay, good. Wow. All right.
And chose to remain anonymous. And this is a wide area progressive machine. Now, what that means, and I think all the slot experts out there know what a wide area progressive machine is. I did not know that.
Okay.
It means it's just a big way of saying it's connected to other casinos in the region.
Okay.
It's a regional jackpot, basically. So congratulations to Clearwater River Casino and Lodge. 2 jackpots in 2 weeks that actually made the Beating the House report.
That's a big couple of weeks for Clearwater River.
Yes.
So.
And the town of Lewiston.
And Lewiston, yeah.
We're going over to Michigan, Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
I've never heard of this, by the way.
This is
Saganing?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to make sure that I wasn't misspelling it or anything, or there was no mistake in it, but it's Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel, not Saginaw.
Okay. All right.
Which is probably what you were thinking.
Yes, I was.
We have, and this is the first time we're talking about this game, a $103,000 jackpot playing The Mask.
I've actually seen this game in the casinos. I've never played it.
Not
a big fan of the movie, so I just didn't draw me to it, but I've seen it in casinos.
Well, the movie, the first one was okay. That second one they made was just, they should not have made the second one with the baby mask.
I don't think I saw the first one. Honestly,
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I honestly
remember seeing it a couple times.
A couple times? I didn't see it once. So
well, when you see it in the theater once, and then cable plays it to death.
Yeah, I guess so. But I just never watched it. I just never.
But the Mask game is based on the 1994 movie, and it includes scenes and music from the film.
Oh, okay.
So I actually got to take a look at this machine. I've seen it, but I've actually.
So if I went into a casino and played the Mask game,
as a matter of fact,
does it count as me seeing the movie?
No.
No? Okay.
No. As a matter of fact, with the shirt you're wearing right now, the Encore Boston Harbor.
Yes. I know.
I believe I saw the Mask there.
Oh, okay.
So that might have been a place. Don't quote me on that one, but I believe I saw the Mask on the floor in Encore.
I think
Harbor.
the one slot machine I played there was Dancing Drums, and I don't remember the version of Dancing Drums. I know there's a lot of dancing drum things. So
I played a pirate themed slot machine, which was kind of interesting. It had skull and crossbones everywhere, buried treasure, all that stuff. Didn't catch the name of it. It was one of those big cabinets that were looking down at me.
I know it was a dancing drum thing. I just don't know what version. So.
Well, we're going to make our way all the way across the country back here, and we're going to do our Jersey Jackpot segment again.
Oh, okay.
I know I just did one, but we have 14 more jackpots.
There's more, huh?
14 more between when we just did this and now.
Well, lots of people are in the casinos in New Jersey,
yes.
So you're going to have lots of jackpots. So how many do you have?
14.
Right now? Oh, okay. Well, I'll just be quiet and let you run them down then.
Starting July 16th, because we ended last time we did this, we ended on July 14th.
Okay.
July 15th had no $100,000 jackpots. That's my cutoff, 100,000. Otherwise, I'd just be reciting.
Why bother then?
I'd be reciting here. I'd be sitting here 2
hours. I like
hours.
the people who play the lottery and say, I'm not playing this week. It's only $12 million, so I'm not even going to waste my time playing it.
It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with space and time on the show here. I mean, if I did 50,000 like the New Jersey Division of Gaming Control did on their report, there's another 40 I could be talking about.
Okay, all right.
So I'm not doing that. We're going to start off July 16th. This is Brick and Mortar Tropicana, Atlantic City. $100,000 playing IGT's Triple Stars. Actually, the actual amount was $100,020.
Oh, okay.
Over on BetfairCasino.com, the online site, $121,584 playing Divine Fortune, another Divine Fortune jackpot.
Great game.
DraftKings.com, their casino site, $125,512 playing Dancing Drums.
Oh, there you go.
Not the Dancing Drums Explosion game, just the original Dancing Drums.
I don't know what version I was playing, so.
We have July 17th, $200,224 on DraftKings.com, playing Five Treasures by Williams Interactive. Staying with DraftKings.com, July 18th, we had $251,000 jackpot playing Every's Double Jackpot Smokin' 777s.
Okay.
Or, as it's laid out here, Double Jackpot Smokin' 777.
Okay.
I don't know if it's actually called 777s. I call it that because it's easier to say. July 20th, we have a jackpot of $101,800 on Betfair Casino playing IGT's Cats.
Cats.
Now, I've seen...
Now, is that the Broadway show Cats?
No.
Or no, that's just
this
cats.
This is
just typical alley cats kind of thing. Or
no,
house
not alley
cats.
It's just pictures of cats.
Cats.
Just
All
pictures
right.
of cats.
Cats.
I've actually seen the brick and mortar version, and I see a lot of people playing this game.
Okay, so this is online, so
this
I can
is online.
actually... All right, I'll check it out.
Betfair Casino.
So Betfair Casino, okay. I think I have an account with them, yeah.
Going over on July 22nd, we have 3 jackpots on July 22nd. $219,412 on Golden Nugget Casino playing Net Ents, Mercy of the Gods.
I've seen that one.
That's actually the sister game to that Divine Fortune.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know they were connected.
They're connected in terms of the mythology.
Okay.
So, $204,650 on PlaySugarHouse.com playing IGT's Fortune Coin. That's an actually interesting game. It's almost like a dancing drum style game.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to finish up at a brick and mortar. $114,131 at Borgata playing Flower of Riches from Bali.
Okay.
July 23rd, we have $100,000 on PlayMGM.com playing Alchemy Bets Slingo Triple Extreme. July 25th, $111,000 on FanDuel Casinos playing Net Ents Mercy of the Gods. And $136,614 playing Net Ents Divine Fortune Touch over at PlayMGM.
Okay, that's online, right?
That's both online.
All right.
July 27th, PlaySugarHouse.com makes another appearance, $120,000, playing IGT's Mega Jackpots Wheel of Fortune on air. There's a Wheel of Fortune game again. And finally, we've got July 28th, $124,559 on Betfair Casino online, playing NetEnt's Divine Fortune Touch. So we had a couple Divine Fortune jackpots in New Jersey over the last couple of weeks, Wheel of Fortune on air jackpot, and again, I said we had 14 $100,000 or more jackpots in New Jersey. There was a lot more, 50,000 and over in that 2-week span, and I encourage everyone to go to the Division of Gaming Enforcement and check that out. And it's a public record. You can go into their slot laboratory area and click on the jackpot list.
So that's what they call it, the slot laboratory?
That's that division, yes. Slot laboratory.
Slot laboratory, okay.
And we're going to finish up with a sports bet.
All right.
We haven't done a sports bet in a while.
Yeah, let's do a sports
Louisiana bettor over at Caesar Sportsbook. He did a $10 11-leg MLB parlay. Major League Baseball.
Okay, wow.
And the reason I actually am doing this one is because of the combination of bets. It was 3 money line plays, 3 run line plays,
all right,
and 5 overs.
Okay.
All cashed. The odds were over plus 10,000 to hit this.
Okay.
So he won grand total $11,799.13 on 11-leg $10 bet parlay.
Wow.
Baseball parlay.
That's great.
Major League Baseball parlay. That's it for this week's Beating the House. Again, keep the press releases coming in. We'll keep doing the segment. If you want your jackpot featured, please send them on in, and we'll talk about it.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the radio with House of Cards.